Hello. How are you? I hope good. Yeah, I don't know, but I think since I did the video about, let's see, that was my uh, Who is a Jew video. The number of my viewers is going down, and then I made a video, with the Pope, the new Pope, and well, that had a little more. So, but again, I don't know if I'm being, more censored again. I don't know, but well, I think I need to make a video, even though I get very discouraged. But I know people, I want to thank all of you for commenting, the ones that are commenting, all of you for giving me a thumbs up, and for listening to my videos. Well, maybe there's just not very many people out there that are searching for the truth. I know there's a lot of false teachers out there, a lot of them. And of course, most of those teachers are dispensationalists. Yeah, of course, I already talked about it. If you don't know what dispensationalism is, please look under my playlist. I have explained it very clearly. Actually, most of what dispensationalism is preaching is false, except the rapture, which is kind of strange. That's really the only thing that I can actually find that is true. Now, I know it's not on the same, it's not on the correct, maybe, timeline, okay? Of course, the timeline of dispensationalism is absolutely messed up anyways. Sorry, but I had to move my plate. My cat wanted to go on the chair. But yeah, that timeline that the dispensationalists have is totally, totally messed up. And so according to that messed up timeline, yeah, it could be hard to place this event, which I call rapture. I don't know. Maybe it's wrong for me to call it rapture. I don't know. But the rapture itself is not the problem. Now, 1 Thessalonians 4, 1 Corinthians 15, and other parts of the Bible, like you can see, you never see the rapture in Revelation, but you see the church or the saints in heaven several times, at least 2 times. Okay? So it is also in Revelation. Now, we just have to place it correctly. And in Revelation, I have done the videos, but I want to say it again today. This catching up of the bride, this 1 Thessalonians 4, is always before the wrath of God, not before a great tribulation time. I talked about the wrath of God about 3 videos ago. Okay, 3 videos ago. And you should know that the wrath of God is coming. As soon as this period of human history is over, which is about 6,000 years, the wrath of God will start. That's called the day of the Lord. Day as in 1,000 years. That's the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is 1,000 years. 2 Peter 3. One day with God is like 1,000 years. And so the day of the Lord is 1,000 years. And when the day of the Lord starts, that's when the human history is over. Humans continue, but this time, God is going to, the first thing he does during the day of the Lord is he is pouring out the wrath on humankind. In other words, catastrophic events that will destroy most of humankind. Yeah, there's some that will, remain, but most of humankind will be eliminated, will be dead because of all the catastrophic events. No, God is not going to destroy this world by a huge global flood. There's going to be tsunamis, a lot of tsunamis. So the coastlands will be flooded, but not the whole world. But it doesn't matter. Other catastrophic things will destroy the rest of the world to most of the part. There's going to be a reset. We see that, of course, in Revelation 16 or Revelation 8 through 11. That's the wrath of God. And before that wrath happens, God's going to Jesus will pick up his bride. And that's what I call rapture. Okay, maybe it has nothing to do in common with what you think rapture is. I don't know. But 1 Thessalonians 4 is what I call the rapture. When Jesus picks up his bride, he doesn't have them collected by the angels. He picks them up personally. He snatches them out. That's what hapazo means. That word, the original word for catching up, hapazo, that's what it means. It's a sudden taken out, not collected by the angels. That's a different event altogether. And it will happen after the wrath of God. Those are the foolish virgins that are being picked up by the angels. Those are the 144,000 sealed. They will be picked up by the angels. Again, I'm talking about Revelation 7. The 144,000 sealed. So, we know, because the Bible tells us that this event of catching up, or hapazo, or what I call rapture, I call it rapture because I know it from the German Bible. I started out, reading the German Bible, and we call it in German, Entrückung. It's actually a noun. In English, you don't have a noun like that. And I guess maybe why they made up that word rapture. Because that's a noun too, right? Or we don't even have a verb for rapture, like being raptured, right? I mean, you can say that, but nobody really uses that, being raptured. They just call it, the rapture, because the catching up. I mean, that would be a noun, the catching up. Okay, you can call it that. You can call it the catching up. But, when you say the catching up, most people don't know. When you say rapture, people should know. Okay, even the people that deny it, they know what that means. Well, maybe they don't. Do they know that when people say rapture, they mean 1 Thessalonians 4, when Jesus takes out his bride in a snatching out, in a twinkling of an eye? Do they understand that? Well, that's what's going to happen. And that is, people, where it's correct. That's the only correct thing in dispensationalism. But again, they place it wrong. They put in there a 7-year tribulation time. That is nonsense, because Matthew 24, and I believe it's 29, says that after the tribulation of those days. That means after. It doesn't mean before. Well, it doesn't say the rapture will happen. It doesn't say the catching up will happen. It just says the sun will go dark. But when the sun goes dark, people, that gives us an indication that the wrath of God is starting. That means that's the beginning of the day of the Lord. That means before that happens, the sun going dark, or exactly at the beginning of the sun going dark, that is when the catching up will happen. Okay? The catching up of the bride. 1 Thessalonians 4. It's not happening after the wrath of God. When Jesus appears in the clouds and he sends out the angels, and that's what Matthew is then describing after the sun goes dark and the moon loses its shine and the wrath of God is happening after that. The Son of God, or Jesus, will appear in the clouds, and he will send out his angels and collect who? The bride? No. Is he sending, actually is allowing the bride to stay while he is destroying the ungodly? I don't think so, because he didn't do that. He's never done that. He's never allowed his people to stay while he is destroying the ungodly. Not during Noah. Not during Sodom and Gomorrah. Not, where else was it? I think those are the two. Did he allow that? He always takes his people out. Does that? Different ways, but he takes them out. And the catching up of the bride is exactly that. He's taken them out. Where is he putting them? He's putting them in the rooms he's preparing right now. And that's where they're going to be and hide. Isaiah 26:19-21 tells you clearly about that event. His people will hide in the rooms until the whole thing is over. The whole wrath of God is over. So yeah, that timeline is incorrect. Is absolutely incorrect. The Antichrist is incorrect. Number one, we don't have a 7-year tribulation time. We have tribulation before the bride is being picked up, and that is right now. The past 2,000 years we had a tribulation time. The 70 years of Daniel is over. False interpretation. I made that very clear. If you need to go, I think under playlist I may have something with Daniel. Okay? So go there. And I have done the study. I'm not even going to go through that again now. It's over. Okay? In depth. But that's all that's wrong with dispensationalism. This whole building of the temple is not necessary because it's not needed anymore. The old covenant is over, and you cannot reestablish it. The Jews are under the new covenant. Jeremiah said that, and Daniel said that. So it's over. Yes, well, come on, cat. Come on. My cat cannot make up her mind. But anyways, really the whole thing about dispensationalism is nothing but a lie. It's a lie that was created by Satan himself to deceive and destroy the Reformation. The Reformation bloomed a little bit, but it didn't take very long for it to just totally get destroyed again. And that was his plan. That was Satan's plan. And who did he use? Papacy. Papacy, the man of sin. The man of sin, people. And if people don't wake up, I just made this video about the new Pope from America. And does the Antichrist look like this? And maybe I should have not said that, because maybe that's why my video didn't go out there. But yeah, everybody seems to be very happy with this new Pope. And what is he really? What is he really? And what has he done? And I'm not saying this Pope, but the popes in general. What have they done? They come in like wolves in sheep's clothing. It's maybe not the Pope, but it's his soldiers, his spies come in the Protestant church and have totally destroyed it. Totally. Most of the so-called leaders of the evangelical churches are all totally misled. Do they know? I don't know. All these people on YouTube that think they know about end times prophecy, they don't. They don't. And we have to be on our guard, because with this, of course, dispensationalism also comes Christian Zionism. This false teaching, that, oh yeah, God is not finished with who? The Jews? Only Judah? What happened to the other 12? They're really 12 tribes. You know why I'm saying 12 tribes? Or 12 tribes? Because there were 13. Because Joseph got double portion, Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay, so really 13. What happened to the rest of the tribes? Why are they lost? And they are lost. They're lost. They mingled amongst the Gentiles. They're gone. So what makes the Jews, people from Judah, so special that they survived? And if you watched my video that didn't get very many views too, who is a Jew, you should know that most Jews are mixed anyways. They may not even be exactly from the tribe of Judah. They can't even trace themselves back to Judah. So what? What good do they have? And they're following a false religion. So what is it going to help them? Nothing. Nothing at all. If they are not repenting and acknowledging Messiah, they have nothing whatsoever. They're misled. So no, they that's it. But that's what really dispensationalism is, in a nutshell. And at least they're not denying the rapture, but it doesn't help them. Now, does it help them to believe in this rapture when they have everything else wrong and they don't even realize they have everything else wrong? It doesn't help them at all. These people are not saved because they don't have the Holy Spirit. See, if they would have the Holy Spirit would open their eyes and he would show them and say, look, there's something wrong here. But they are foolish virgins, Matthew 25. They're foolish virgins. And someday they're going to wake up because the bride will be gone and they will be left behind. Of course, most of them people will continue to slumber. There is no doubt in my mind. Most of these so-called Christians, right, these dispensationalists, they will be continuing to slumber and they will take the mark of the beast. There is no doubt. Just like they did take what? This right here. If you know what that is, the shot. Yeah, just like they took the shot without thinking, without trusting Jesus, they will do the same thing with the mark. They will not even know what's going on. They will not rebel. They will not wake up. They will continue to slumber. And again, they may not even know that Jesus actually appeared, or not appeared, but that Jesus actually picked up his bride. Remember, Jesus will not appear in the sky before the wrath of God. He will, and see, people always say, oh, there is no secret rapture. Yeah, there is. Yes, there is. Not for the bride, but the people that don't believe, or let's say, the people that don't have the Holy Spirit. Yeah, it will. I think they will not know what happened. There's going to be a few that realize, and of course, like I said, they will have to take either the mark or they'll be beheaded. So, you know what? I wouldn't want to be them. But yeah, wake up, people. It's unfortunately that in the United States, we have so many misled so-called Christians. I guess maybe we can see it. We have a pope now, a American pope. What does that tell us? Does that tell us? Maybe Protestantism, true Protestantism in the United States is either dead or ineffective. I think that's what it means. When we have so many Catholics that we can put a pope up there, an American pope, yeah, we are definitely probably in a pretty bad state. And I think we're in a worse state than other ones because we think we're still Christian. We think, oh, we're a Protestant nation, right? We still think so. We still think we're Christians. Well, Catholics think they're Christians too. But that we are evangelical, Bible-believing Christians. And we are not. We are right now, so watered down, so leavened, that there is no more cleansing possible. I hear sometimes people saying, oh, there's going to be a, revival. No, people, there's not going to be a revival. We're in such a bad shape. We're in such bad shape that there is not going to be another revival. Who is going to teach the revival? But the leaders today? Franklin Graham? Or these other leaders that are around Trump? I don't think so. Their interest was, we have to help Trump win this election. That was their concern. Their concern was not, we need to reach people. It was not their concern. We need to put Trump in there, as a president because he is going to be saving our country. And our country is absolutely lost. It's been lost for a long time. And people have not noticed it. They go like blind zombies to church on Sundays and the holidays that are already, Catholics anyways. They're not waking up. They're just, pretending to be Christians. Oh, yeah, but we are so good. And I can see it, how many people are watching my videos. People, I have a German channel. I think I have told you that before. Germans are mainly Catholic or Lutheran. Lutheran, you can forget. They are already on the side of the Catholic again. So here we have 90% of our population is Catholic. Catholic on paper. Most people don't even go to church. Yeah, you can say that. Most people don't go to church. They're only Catholic by maybe, baptism. They go to church on Sunday, not even Sundays, maybe on the holidays, maybe, most likely not. But they get married in the church, and die in the church, and that's about it. And so you can forget them. And the group of true believers is very little. The free evangelical churches in Germany, are maybe 1%, 2%, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, it's a very worldly, very worldly society. And I have way more views. I have sometimes up to over 1,000 views with my German audience. And that audience is a lot smaller. German-speaking audience is a lot smaller than the English audience. That says a lot. Says a lot. That these people, there are more people watching my German videos than English speaking. It's really, if you think about it, it's a shame. It's a very big, very, very big shame. It's a big, big, big shame that not more people find my videos. And yeah, you can say YouTube is not helping, which is sure true, but I think it's also the people. Our society has become very worldly, and even those people that call themselves Christian, Protestant Christians, they're nothing but zombies. And people, it's sad. And I think it's because of dispensationalism that they went to sleep. Because they closed their eyes, they opened the door to, Satan, really, the enemy. Oh yeah, the Pope is so great, right? We're all children of God and we all come to Mother Church. That's what I said in my last video. Yeah, people. We need to wake up. We really need to wake up. Why? Because the wrath of God is near. And you better need to make up your mind who you want to serve. Because we don't have too much time left. You don't want to stay here when the wrath starts. It's not going to be fun. I've done a video about this wrath 3 videos ago. And I also showed people that this catastrophic event is coming. It's not very far off. Scientists say, well, maybe we have 15 years. That's what they think. We don't have 15 years. I mean, the earliest the latest, I would think 33. 33 is the latest when we're in the middle. Well, not maybe in the middle, even in the beginning. Let's say that's the latest. So what? That's 8 more years. Really, even if we have that much time. If we have that much time. We may not. That's not very much time. We don't know when the Lord is coming. We don't know when humankind is up. When the 6,000 years of humankind is up. We don't know it. See, I said that there is a 6,000 year catastrophic cycle. And we're coming up to it. Just if you go along by science. And what people scream, oh, science, you can't trust science. Okay, well, can you trust maybe evidence they found, like in the ice or something? Okay, just like, can you determine how old a tree is by the tree rings? Of course you can, right? You can't say, oh, science. No, you can. The tree rings can tell you how old a tree is. It's not anything to, discuss and to argue over. And in these things that they get out of the ice, it will tell you all the different catastrophic events that happened. So we know we're coming close to the next catastrophic event. Actually, the sun is really telling us. But I don't want to go there. I want to finish up right now. People, the rapture is coming soon. And sorry if you don't like that word. I will call it then catching up, or harpazo is coming. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay, the harpazo is coming. Or the catching up of the bride is coming. Before the wrath of God. People, be ready. Be ready. The signs are there. The signs are there. I don't know, is this Pope a sign of the coming return of Christ? I don't find it in the Bible, but I see it in the sky. Jesus said, watch in the sky, the signs in the sky, they'll tell you. Coming to an end, let the Holy Spirit guide you always.